Hello everyone, and welcome to another bonus Starfield video for today. We are moments away from the embargo releasing, so I'll be sure to give you guys my thoughts once we actually have hands-on reviews. There's going to be a lot of content here on the channel, so if you like Starfield, you're in the right place. If you like financial advice and just how to make your life overall better, you're also in the right place. We do a lot of weird things here, and this video, this bonus video, is because when y'all drop 1,000 subs on the channel in one video, when y'all drop over 2K likes on a video, the only way I know how to say thank you is with more of this. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I wanted to sit down and I wanted to talk about some extra bonus stories. A lot of this is positive, but if you're coming in from the thumbnail, you'll know that Sony has taken a huge L, and we're going to talk about that as well because the internet isn't happy. But I have some thoughts, and I tend to run, or at least rub people the wrong way when it comes to monetary in-game prices. So if you guys are interested in a little bit of spice, well, we've got that here for you in today's video. But let's not waste anybody's time. Again, let's talk about some fun stuff, some Starfield stuff. And if you guys haven't seen, Jez tweeted this out, and I have been banging on this track. Imagine Dragons, while it's not his cup of tea, they have teamed up with Starfield for a cross-promotional song. And so I went out and found it. It's incredible. I'll try to include a link because it's on the Spotify. I was just rocking and rolling all evening long to it. I like Imagine Dragons. I think they were really, they have some really great hits. Also a huge Muse fan, if you're curious. We could just start naming off bands that we like. Feel free to do so. I'm trying to build out some awesome playlists on Spotify, by the way. So give me some great, great people to listen to, and I'll appreciate that. Now, the reason why I want to bring this up, we're also talking, and this is going to pivot really, really strongly into what we're about to talk about with Sony. Elder Scrolls officially has announced that it's gone into full production. Now that Starfield is here for launch. So Elder Scrolls 6 has been in pre-production. Todd Howard himself has talked about how he wishes he really hasn't, if he could do something over again, he wouldn't have announced it as soon because it's been in pre-production. But now that Starfield is entering release, the thing that I like about this is that just takes the team and the people that they have working in the engine and allow them to kind of pivot over into this new game. But from a perspective of a developer, if this is going into production, budgetarily, I would mentally put 3 to 4 years on it, namely to the size and scale of what they're going to try to deliver. What helps keep that time frame tight and in control is good pre-production. So if they've had a really good pre-production section, the production section should be just a matter of getting the work done because everything has been kind of, planned out. Obviously, there's things that come up. You got to pivot and roll with the flow, but I think that's exciting to see. Let's talk about Sony because that's probably why you clicked on this video. Dreamcast guy tweeting this out, and he tweets out the thumbnail. I'm highlighting it because it's referencing his video. Sony PlayStation Plus is getting a huge price increase, and he wants to talk about why it sucks. Now, for the information, Wario's tweeting this out. The breakdown is the essential is $79.99, the extra is $134.99, and the premium is $156.99. And that's essentially for the 12-month package. So how do I feel about this? Well, I feel like my entire world is getting kicked in the nuts over and over again with inflation. I'm honestly, the thing I tweeted out is I'm honestly surprised it's taken this long. The thing that's almost poetically tragic about all of this is that this price increase goes live the same day that Starfield launches. And so Microsoft's got something big and positive and people are excited and playing it. And then Sony's like, hey, by the way, give us more money, which was always going to happen. There's no ifs, ands, buts, or ways around it. The only way that prices can come down is that in terms of competition, that heats up, or, obviously the supply is much larger than the demand. But in this case, for what they're trying to do and the money they're trying to spend and the money they dropped on, Bungie, this is not a Bungie tax on you, by the way, but this is just part of the baked in equation. Just like the fact that when people praise first party games for not having microtransactions, every first party game has a microtransaction. It's the 30% take that the store, that the console gets on every sale. So they don't technically need it because that's why they're getting it each and every time. But we are seeing more and more shift in that entire economy. This is one of the big, the big reason why I want to bring this to you is this is going to be the big reason why I continue to really try to encourage you to pay off your debts, because a price increase of this magnitude, because this isn't a minor little like, okay, we're charging another $1 a month. This is like I think a $40 a year hike. Like that could end up being some significant money. And if you start to think about putting that money into like, you know, a good growth stock mutual fund, you know, you're going to end up like realizing how much of your wealth is just being siphoned off by subscriptions. And it's not that you can't enjoy a subscription, and it's not that you can't enjoy video games, but we have to get you into a spot that you're like, you've got your financial world in order, that this isn't a Dreamcast guy, this sucks L thing that just is kind of playing into the anger of the internet. And trust me when I say, we all know it's happening. It just, I guess he puts it perfectly. This sucks because this is just the nature of it. So if we can get you out of debt, a price increase of this isn't going to hurt you as much. The inflation that has happened has, you know, hit me and my wife pretty daggum hard, but we don't have any payments. So we've been able to adapt. I can fast, you know, another meal, you know, a day. It's actually good for me to do so. That's something that I've had to adjust, right? Like Bidenomics, man. Like at the end of the day, I don't know why in the world you would ever want to put your name attached to the economy when you're stepping up into an election. And for those of you who are new or like, wait, this guy just bring up politics. If you're offended, trust me, you do not want to stick around, because we talk about the real shit here, and we get real with you guys and honest with you at every possible chance. Like if you haven't heard me say it, my goal in life is to be insanely, you know, have insane integrity, have just like intense integrity. I don't know why I'm picking different words, because it's late and I'm tired, and I just wanted to get you guys this video. So yeah, we talk about it here. Stick around and buckle up. Now, beyond that L, because again, at the end of the day, I get that people are frustrated, and this just motivates me even more to try and encourage you to get out of debt and start building wealth. Hazard tweets out, as LinkedIn Xbox has a new director of Xbox partnerships in Japan, which was the head of first party for 8 years over at PlayStation in Japan. Microsoft is making moves. I think Starfield is one of those things, those times in history that we will literally see things, and you know, like this is a shifting moment. This is one of those moments that I think we look back at as a milestone. Is Sony down and out? No, but I think they're going to be fine. They have a lot going for them as a company that they can really start to make some interesting moves. But when it comes down to this, they cannot go toe to toe with what Microsoft is doing, and Microsoft needs Japan. They've needed Japan for a long time. Their weakness in Japan is one of the difficulties that they've continued to struggle with. This generation, though, with the Series S, seems to have helped them out dramatically with getting a foothold in that country. Now, this is very humbling, and I'm going to tweet this out. I just captured this screenshot for y'all. Thaddeus Prime putting out a poll about who's your favorite Starfield content creator, and I'm blown away. I voted for myself. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not that keen on. I was like, I want to win. I wasn't winning at the time. I did retweet it, so thank you guys for the love and support. This truly is humbling. Thank you. Just the fact that you guys are responding to the content, it does mean the world to me. So thank you so much again. And before we jump into class dismiss, just one final thing. Ben Starr tweeting out some footage of his failed audition for the voice as the silent protagonist in Starfield. I'll include a link to that tweet in the description of this video. I don't want to take his clout. I don't want to, take his content and repurpose it here for mine. I encourage you to go check it out and engage with the post. I think it's really quite brilliant. But with that, guys, let's say class dismissed, and let's jump into the real talk section here of the video itself. Now, I'm going to start with Crackcorn says, we never get financial advice, though, chiming in. And I only can say this, Crackcorn, with love and respect. You got to clean out your damn ears, son, because you're not paying attention. There's lots of videos. We go into it. The goal isn't to sit here and beat your head over with it. The goal is to be inviting and encouraging and answer questions. And that's what we're going to do here, because Crucible 6473 says, do you have any tips for investing? I'm 20 and I'm starting to generate some income, but I want to make sure that it's secure in my future and generating some passive income if I ever fall into a period of long unemployment, as that seems to be a frequent thing nowadays. I've heard investing into things like materials such as gold and silver is a good way to start, but also that things like stocks. But it all looks and sounds somewhat daunting, and it is daunting, and it's set up for you to lose, by the way, but we'll talk about that. By the way, I love your videos. Absolutely great stuff. You are creating. Happy to be a new subscriber of yours. So let's break it down. Investing. The reason investing happens once you're out of debt and you have a fully funded emergency fund. So baby step number one, save $1,000. That way, if an emergency happens, you don't have to go right back to the credit card. The reason why only $1,000 as opposed to a fully funded emergency fund is the goal for step two is to pay off all of your commercial debt, not like your house or your mortgage or anything like that, but all of your credit cards, student loans, cars, all the things that are stealing your wealth. The reason why is that we want you in a sense of fight or flight, this fire under your butt, because you're not supposed to be in step two for long. In fact, generally speaking, no more than 2 years, if at all possible. You need to get extra jobs. You need to work it hard. And then baby step three is to save up a fully funded emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of all of your bills, your rent, your mortgage, whatever. So that way you have that ability to not necessarily overcome unemployment. Why is that more important than investing in step 4, 5, and 6? Well, the people who lose more than anything else is investing are the ones who have to sell. And the market's going to go up and the market's going to go down. And if you try to time the market, there are people who win, and you'll see those people talked about, oh yeah, like that. Let's start to talk about like the stock market is, both a graph of rich people's feelings, but also that of a casino, and people treat it and use it as a casino, and they have more data and more money, and they have more insight and knowledge, and they will beat you over the head with it, and they will sucker you into investments, and then they will pull the rug on you, and then they're going to take your money. And there are so many influencers that also do this bullshit that it just absolutely. Oh gosh, I wasn't expecting to get angry in this video, and then all of a sudden I was just like, Lord, Anyway, Jesus, bless these people for the love of God. Help me not lose my cool. Okay. Anyhow, so if those steps have been completed, what Dave teaches is you want to put 15% of your take-home pay in good growth stock mutual funds. I also use the index funds. I have a bunch of different investments now, and I'm able to, because I don't owe anybody any money, I'm able to invest and save. That's really the whole goal. And with compound interest, that's just going to build and build and build, and to the point where it becomes a nest egg. And when you start to think about, at some point, let's say if I get 5 million or I can easily live off of, I would actually get more money and interest off of that than I make in my real job. And that is, in my mind, mind-boggling. But that is the sense. And so then, essentially, in this case, especially since Crucifix here is 20 years old, you would then, start investing 50%. You would also then start saving for a down payment for a home. And you want to you get a big, sizable down payment because you also want to pay off your home. And Dave recommends a 15-year mortgage. Again, everything in this world is lying to you to try and keep you in this cycle of debt and keep you in. It's not slavery, but it's this indentured servitude that people just get lulled into and captured. And when this shit hits the fan, your world gets turned upside down really quickly. And then you have to sell your investments. So what you want to do is you want to establish that as a pattern. Debt-free investor. And then as your investor, you're doing that just consistently. You're not worrying about timing the market. When the market goes up and down, you don't care. You just keep grinding and keep grinding. Now, there'll be times and opportunities that will come up. And the reason when you're debt-free, you can take more risk. And that's the calculation that everybody gets wrong when it comes to paying off your debt. Oh, you shouldn't pay off your house. You should invest in the stock market. Well, why don't you just go take, $30 million out on your house and do that? If that was the same thing, if that was equal, if it was equal to stay and having a home and investing, then why not just borrow out more money and put it in the stock market? Once you start getting big numbers like 3 million or 30 million, you feel it differently in your gut. And then all of a sudden it doesn't make sense because the risk starts to stack up. So that's what we want for you. That's what the Dave Ramsey method teaches. And that's what we here at my household practice to some, degree of success. I would say I'm trying to be 100% Dave. Occasionally I am human, but ultimately it's about getting back on that track. And that's why Julie and I, we go and take Financial Peace University every couple of years. And then we also just try to, encourage each other. It's great to have, a wife who's on board that we're working towards this goal together because we all have our whys. My why is I want to pay for my grandkids' Catholic education. Catholic school ain't cheap. And I'd like to be in a position that when my kids have kids, that their kids' education is covered by me because Papa drove an old truck. He didn't owe anybody any money. And now he just has money that he lives off of that he doesn't know what to do with because all his kids are grown. That's my why. And that's what I'm working towards in this regard. Conanix says, totally agree that credit cards and credit scores are complete fabrications of the government and big businesses to keep people down. The credit score doesn't make sense, and you can't even tell how it works. Think about it. If you can't tell people how this number is generated, then it is a manifestation to keep you beholden to their rules, and isn't there to keep you with good credit. I really butchered that last line. I do apologize greatly. So I've seen people who get confused by the credit score. They pay off their they pay down one of credit cards and their credit score goes down. The credit score is a myth and it's a lie, and you actually don't need it. There's times where people can push back and say, oh, I'm trying to rent a car and stuff like this, but other companies will work with you on a debit card. The credit score is a myth. You can actually buy a house with a 0 credit score. In fact, it's called manual underwriting. There are processes. It might take a extra phone call or two. And so the credit score is this lulled sense of things that, yes, that are there just to try and keep people controlled. And it sucks. There's no other ifs, ands, or buts about it. It sucks. So just like before, just like with the rising prices of the Sony service, just as things and prices go up, that is a guarantee. Bad times will come and will try and ruin your it's called the Murphy's Law, right? If it can go wrong, it will. And those times are, in my future, we know that as a guarantee. And so it's important for you. It's important for you to understand, however you're old, even if you're not 20, if you're listening to this and you're 50 and you're 60, it's never too late to change. It's harder to change when you're older. Let's just be truthful here. Let's be honest. Yes, but it's never too late. Change. Change your future, change your family tree, change your life for the better because you're worth it. And that is your bonus video for today. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully I will see you in the next one. But until then, take care.